See, this is where we get a really interesting mix of propaganda, culture, religion, and we are dealing, as human beings, we're dealing with such a layered force of shaitan, that sometimes we can get really confused. And how are we going to tackle this? Because it's all around us and the thing's becoming normalized. And if you're watching dramas at home and you have young children at home, what you don't realize is watching these narratives around them create a certain sense of norm and acceptability in their minds. And it's very interesting how you say that Pakistani dramas promote it, because it is more socially acceptable to sexualize your cousin at home than it is meeting someone outside. Isn't that odd? Like, it's weird how we get things that are allowed or jais in our deen, and we grab it and we turn it into a cultural norm. Like that wasn't the goal behind these. This was just to give you examples of where these things were possible and could happen. But when you mix these kind of hadiths with political, social and financial motivations, now all of a sudden you're promoting this hadith through the sky because it benefits all these other aspects that you wanting to control. And whether we like it or not, the predominancy of cousin marriage, it's feeding some kind of social norm that is fitting the narrative, and to make people comfortable, they're putting that in to get more views. Like, it's okay to flirt and sexualize your cousin, but not to meet someone outside of those realms. And, this whole let's keep it in the family because you'll be safer. Let's be honest with each other. That's probably more rare than it is the way that you are, a lot of people present cousin marriage to people. We know medically, there's a lot of problems with it. That's not hidden from anyone. And a lot of the children that are born, some of them have these issues. We know that if there's any coercion or abuse or just a complete, lack of intimacy or love, or maybe there's no connection there at all in that manner, it's very difficult to speak up, because you are speaking to multiple connections in the family who are emotionally invested in the story of this person, because that's still your mum's nephew, for example. And it's your mum or dad's sibling's child that you're just, you know what I mean? Like, it's so tied up that it becomes complicated for you to get out. And I think that really suits an oppressive society, because it keeps women where they need to keep women. If we haven't understood by now that the oppression of women is mainly centered around the fact that pleasure and the future lies within our womb. We own everything, because without us, there is no future. Without us, the main thing that men desire in the world is off the table, is off the cards. So to control that, to keep her in the right place, and for men to feel that they have this power and they are leaders. See, when you put this leadership element in the hands of someone who's uneducated, they think that leadership means ultimate control of everyone in their environment. But an educated leader understands that he is a shepherd, and sometimes sheep go their own way, and there's a method in which to bring them back into the herd. And it's not with abuse, torture, or manipulation or gaslighting. So we're lacking a lot of education. We need to push ourselves out of the realms we're in and go on YouTube and listen to tafsirs, listen to the breakdowns, listen to why the intellectual Islamic scholars, not the ones that are, sitting there reinforcing the same ayahs and hadiths without giving you full context or an explanation, so it suits their agenda. Because then now we've got the media doing the exact same thing. So of course your vision on what is right, what is correct is skewed, because you're being fed so much opposing information from left, right and centre, when actually, when you look into the deen and you're listening to the tafsirs and listen to a few of them, because each scholar has their own angle towards it, and it opens up your mind, and you thought each ayah meant this, but actually opens up a whole world for you and gives you answers beyond understanding. So when you have that level of understanding and education, you don't get blown away by this kind of propaganda. You don't start thinking it's normal and acceptable because you have a base knowledge of where your understanding should actually be, which is based in our Deen, not in what the culture says or what TV or media is showing you. When you have that baseline of understanding, you're not as easily manipulated by the world. If anything, you start seeing through it more and more. You're like, wow. Like, I wonder why that is put in place. Why is this being reinforced? And I'm not going to allow myself or my family to consume this rubbish and think of it as normal.